the Shoei NXR, or RF 1200 as it's called in the States, is a so-called tour sport helmet, which means you can use it on pretty much every bike. Now I took it out on my naked bike for a number of weeks, and I also took out the Photochromic visor, and I've also had it personal fitted to my head with the Shoei Personal Fitting System. And this is what I thought of it. Thanks to the Shoei NXR's small shell, it's perfect for naked bikes and touring bikes, but it will also perform very smoothly on sports bikes too. If you were to weigh up the specs and the price, then you would probably conclude that the Shoei NXR is a very good value. It does what it says on the tin, and more. At a recommended retail price of €459 for a matte black version, the helmet has a fair price. For this price you'll be getting a tried and tested handmade AIM Shoei helmet that comes in 4 shell sizes and has a lot of features and options. The NXR is wind tunnel tested. It features adjustable base plates, 4 ventilation openings on the front, 1 outlet on the back, emergency quick release system, a Pinlock Evo anti-fog lens, and of course a double D chin strap. The first thing I thought when I put on the Shoei NXR on my head was that it's very light. It only weighs around 1260 grams in the smallest shell size, which is the one I'm wearing. I'm not knocking my Neotech 2, which I use as my regular go-to helmet, but 1260 grams feels a whole lot nicer on my head than the 1600 plus of Shoei's modular helmet. Not that it is surprising in any way. There are not many modular helmets at all that come anywhere near the weight of the NXR. And the Neotech 2 is lighter than an average flip-up anyway. And to be honest, as long as the aerodynamics are on point, you'll only feel the weight of the stone when you're moving slowly or not moving at all. Another thing that instantly charmed me was the small shell size of the helmet. Now I'm not a massive bloke, and I don't want my skid lid to be bulky when it's not necessary. This helmet feels very stable at motorway speeds on my naked bike. It doesn't blow my head all over the place, it gives it a nice comfortable place in the riding wind, and it stays there. The visor offers ample vision, both horizontally and vertically, which is pleasant, and it saves you turning your head excessively. Some of Shoei's competitors definitely offer wider viewing angles, but then again they also sacrifice more of the helmet shell to achieve this effect. I was very eager to try out the Photochromic visor, so I didn't wait long before installing it on the NXR. It was difficult to shoot a proper video showing how the visor darkens because it starts darkening as soon as you walk outside. As you can see in Shoei's promotional video, it takes around 2 minutes to reach its darkest point, which is actually true. In my experience, it might even be a few seconds less than that. But to be honest, the time it takes you to do the final things before riding off, like zipping up your jacket and putting your gloves on, is pretty much the time it takes to darken, so you won't be waiting around for anything. The amazing thing about this Photochromic visor is the versatility. I've used it at sunrise, I've used it at sunset, and I've used it at midnight. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter when you go out, it seamlessly adapts the shade for your eyes. However, is it worth the price? To be honest, I think that really depends on how much you ride. If you only ride a couple of days a month in the summer, then you're best off just getting a dark smoke visor. However, if you have the dosh to spend and you're going to be on the bike every day or every other day, then I definitely go for it. I checked with Shoei's technical service and they told me that the visor should last around 2 years with daily use. If you only go out a few times a month, then you can easily double that 2-year lifetime as long as you store the helmet in a cool and dark place. The fit of the NXR is intermediate oval, which is fine for me, but I did notice I needed a little bit more padding at the sides of my head. That's no challenge at all for us, as we are a certified Shoei Personal Fitting System dealer. In case you're not familiar with the SPFS, it's an extra service you can purchase for €60 to have any Shoei helmet with a removable centre pad custom fitted to your head. We measure the width, height, length and circumference of your head and use our Shoei computer system to determine which adjustments would be suitable for your head. And if you bought the helmet from us, we'll only charge you €30 for the service. The first couple of days I just wore the helmet as it came out the box, but after getting it fitted to my head I noticed that the helmet had a lot less movement at high speed, especially when looking behind to the left and the right. The overall result was very pleasant, definitely an improvement over the original fit which I was already very pleased with. Sound-wise, I was actually expecting less from this helmet, but I was quite impressed. I always wear custom-fitted earplugs to help keep my ears in good nick. It's not as quiet as the Shoei Neotech 2 or the GT Air 2, but it's not actually very far off. One thing that did get on my nerves was a slight whistling sound from one of the top vents at high speed, especially when turning my head to the left or right. It wasn't loud and it also wasn't always there, but when I heard it, it was definitely enough to annoy me. That brings me to the next item: ventilation. The airflow of this helmet is top notch. I was very happy with it. All vents can be easily opened and closed, and yes, that even goes for the outlet on the back. The inlets allow plenty of fresh air to enter the helmet, and I know this because I rode with the helmet on days of almost 40 degrees Celsius. The bottom line is this: the Shoei NXR is a great full face helmet that you can use on pretty much any bike. It's not the cheapest helmet around, but it is of excellent quality and it will last you a long time. Thanks for watching our video. We hope that you enjoyed watching it and maybe even learned something today. If you have any more questions about my experience with this helmet, you can always drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Now, if you did like the video, give us a thumbs up, and of course what would really help us if you would subscribe to our channel. It helps us to keep creating content, it helps us exist, and it gives you something to watch, so it's good for everyone. We'll see you on photomoto.com for the best prices, worldwide shipping, and of course a vast collection of motorcycle helmets and other gear. And otherwise we'll see you in one of our stores in the Netherlands. But for now, thank you and see you next time.